We're here in Sydney, and you're around Topuria, but you're not fighting him.
Yeah, I haven't seen him yet. I haven't seen him, but I mean, we're cool. You know what I mean? It's pretty obvious we're cool. Whether if that's fighting, he's going to start doing the trash talking again and all that, like whatever. I don't know, but I don't think he needs to do that sort of stuff now. I think he's proved himself, and everyone's like, all right, he's got that respect, so he probably doesn't need to play that game as much. But it works. So it's like I said, some people play that. He was pretty good at it. I felt like he was still pretty good at it. But it can go real badly for you or really well.
Yeah.
He got the big finishes on top of talking like that, and it worked for him, you know what I mean? So I don't feel like he really needs to go down that route, but if he does, whatever.
It's a fun one,
no
right?
worries, mate.
No, you're right. You can talk all you want. Old man Volk's coming back. The interesting thing about your teammate, his brother fighting, it's very rare that you make a UFC debut with a built-in narrative. That I always feel like Colby and Alexander's like almost more interested in some of the main card fights, just in terms of the storyline. For you, do you see it as obviously you want your teammate to succeed, but do you see it as an opportunity for you to sort of also help push that narrative to get this fight over the line and sign?
So that's for everyone else, right? Like it's for the cameras, it's for the fans. Like you said, it's a narrative. It gets it exciting. But everyone wants to see what happens there. A few more eyes than you normally would for people on their debut. So that's great, and that's great for Colby because all these eyes on you. You're gonna have myself in the corner, Craig Jones, Ilia Topuria. You got like obviously the
Craig's here. I thought you said you stopped drinking.
Huh?
Craig's
here. I'm committed to it, and no alcohol for me. So, so we're gonna have some big dogs in the corner, as well. It's pretty cool, and then the whole narrative behind Ilia's brother and me and Ilia and I. Sorry. So it's crazy, but all the hype, all the eyes is a big opportunity for these guys.
Yeah.
So it's great. So Colby understands that. He's like, oh, what? Yeah, let's get this.
Yeah.
Get the eyes on me, so I can capitalize on this. And I'm sure Topuria is thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
We can go there, all this hype. I go out there and get a big finish. People are talking.
Yeah. It seems to me with Ilia, out of the two of you, I'm trying to be respectful to you here. Out of the two of you, you're committed, you're ready, give me the date, let's go. Mm-hmm. Every time I hear him talk, it's like, maybe Volk, I'd rather not. Lightweight Islam, that's what I want. But if the UFC tell me to do Volk, then we'll do Volk. It's sort of, he just doesn't seem as committed to this fight as you do. Mm-hmm. Is that the vibe you're getting from it, and with the conversations you're having with the promotion?
That is. It's pretty obvious that's what's going on. Like, I would have had something locked in if that was the case. At least even, we don't know. Obviously, it's meant to be Ilia. I know he's pushing for the lightweight. Whether they're trying to make that happen, I don't know. So maybe he's training, preparing for a big fight either way, but he's just not sure which one that is. Yeah. So I'm sure, he's getting stuck in it. Well, I don't know how big his camps usually are. I've seen some photos. He looks like he's in decent shape. So I thought he usually. I've heard that he gets pretty big, or that's what they say. He usually gets pretty big, but he didn't look.
They said he gets to 195, but I've been around him. I don't.
He's not.
Doesn't strike me as a guy who gets.
Yeah, I don't know whether that's because I know he wants. He probably not having a knock at him. He won't fight as regularly as myself or Easy World champions, and you can't expect all Pereira, right? Like you don't get many fighters that are champions that are going to be that active. So you can't expect it from them. So maybe it's just like, all right, so I can have reasonable breaks. I need time. I don't know.
Do you think you mentioned about the activity, right? At some point, though, for you, like this is your career that you want to be active, you want to be competing. How long do you have to wait before you think, fuck, maybe I have to let this guy just do whatever, and I have to focus on myself and just get another fight in?
Well, it's sort of is there where I'm just like, obviously I want that rematch, but I mean, I just want to fight for the belt. You know what I mean? Like I'm not going to sit there and get a contender. Yeah. But I mean, if he's not fighting, interim, whatever, or if he's literally moving up to lightweight, like I have heard this, but he just I'm done with Feather. Whether he's just saying these things, I don't know. We'll see. But I mean, for me, it's all right. It's getting to a point now where I'm like, I've waited long enough. Let's get into it. And as I said, I'm committed now. I'm training hard, and I'm doing a pre-camp for whenever that fight is locked in. Yeah. I'm locking in. No alcohol till then. Get stuck into it because I really want to get into camp in good nick. I don't want to peak 2 weeks out and be
Yeah.
light and fast
Yeah.
right then. I want to be light and fast through camp. I want to be training, sparring the whole time, sharp and on the money. And I want to have a good standard through camp, so I want to bring that standard up.
Yeah. Bo Nickel announced that you were fighting in April. I don't know if you're allowed to say, but is that a date in mind that you have the Miami card in April?
I mean, like, you're seeing that everywhere. Obviously, that's they're the dates that I would like, that we would like. I would have liked earlier, but it is around that time. But I mean, honestly, I can tell you now, like, nothing's locked in, so we don't know. Yeah. So that's why I'm thinking what Ilia is saying, this uncertainty. I mean, the UFC must be talking to him, and that is the case, from what I'm getting, and not giving too much away. That's, it's pretty obvious what's going on. I think they're trying to make something happen. They don't know. So is it going to be a Lopez? Is it going to be a Lopez and myself fight for a vacated belt, fight for interim, or is it going to be me and Ilia and I don't know.
Yeah. Do you, you're, as we were talking at the beginning of this, you're a chill guy. You don't take any of this too seriously, I feel like, in terms of the dynamics you have with your opponents. But he did have you in the cage and did say you deserve a rematch and he would like to give it to you. Does any part of you sort of, not judge him, but look at him a bit sort of differently because he's going back on that word?
Nah, not really, because he's not saying he wants to fight. He's made it clear that if he fights at featherweight, it's me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so he just wants to do the lightweight thing, and if the UFC want to do that, he wants to do that, and and Islam's going to do that. All right, like, I'm not going to sit there and stop a man from having a massive opportunity like that. Like, I know if that opportunity was given to me at any time, I would have did it. I didn't ask for it till I thought was the right time.
Right.
But yeah, he wants to commit to it. If they make it happen, good on it. But I mean, if not, let's fight. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't want to wait around. Yeah. So that's how it is. So there's no malice there. Like, I totally understand what he wants to do and where he's going with it. He's still young. Maybe doesn't want to rush things. But yeah, let's keep things moving. The crazy game we play, you know what I mean? This is just the crazy game we choose to play. We chose it, so we can't cry about it, you know what I mean? And I know about it. Yeah. You know what I mean? I was pound for pound and then got knocked out twice in a row. Like, you know what I mean? That's how quickly, whoa. And I get it. Now everyone's going to be, you got no chance of coming back. Well, all right, whatever. Like, there's only, and Ilia's going to think he's unstoppable, and he's going to think that there's no chance of me winning. And he has every right to think that, till I show him different. And that's what I plan on doing.
Do you remember when you lost to Islam in the first fight, that really close fight in Perth? You said you almost wanted a rematch more than getting a shot at the lightweight belt. You really wanted that. Do you feel the same about Ilia? Is it like, I want to get that rematch, or is it like, no, I want to cement myself as another champion?
That's a good question. I would have told you earlier on it was a rematch. Yeah. But now that I've been waiting a while, just give me a fight, you know. Yeah. So it's weird. So, like, I've always said, I want that rematch. Obviously, I want the rematch. I was like, why would I fight someone else? Even if, like, I was here in interim was getting thrown around earlier on, and I'm like, what's the point of doing that? If I could wait another month or two and fight Ilia, like, you know what I mean? So you could see that I didn't care too much about that. I wanted Ilia. Yeah. Where now it's like, maybe he does want to move up, and maybe I'm not fighting him anytime soon. I want to fight. Yeah. So I'm okay with the fact that I'll go there, win the interim or vacate a bit, whatever. If he chooses to go up, we move up and fight while I'm champion. And even fight's even bigger now. Yeah. So, all right, whatever. So I'm like, you got to have a positive thinking. You got to look at, obviously the rematch would have been great earlier, but we can make it work either way. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I still think it's one of the biggest fights in the sport they can make. Obviously, him and Islam is massive.
That's huge,
You fought both of them. I'll be honest, in my opinion, I respect the fact that he wants to go up and try and get that belt. But I don't imagine Ilia to be as freakishly strong as you. And so that move, and I don't think he's a particularly big featherweight. Really. Yeah. So I don't know how his strength will translate against Islam. How do you see that fight if it was to happen?
Yeah, like, that's the thing. Like, he's saying, like, he'll submit Islam and all that. I don't think he really sees that. I think, but he's got hands, man. Like, he's got powerful hands, and he can catch anybody. Yeah. So I see that, like, he could catch Islam, 100% he could. But I feel like that's the only way he beat me. And the same as, like, with me, that's how I've always seen it. The only way I'm getting beaten is if someone finishes me, catches me. You know what I mean? That's how I've always seen it. Like, the only person that can get it close would be someone like Islam. A heavier division, and someone who's well-rounded and like that good, and he's been grappling and wrestling his whole life and literally works just as hard as me. So that's why I'm always like, all right, that's where maybe someone can, and I used to think that about Max as well. Max could maybe get, can sort of get me, if he fights the right fight or something like that, I could be worried about him maybe winning rounds and stuff like that, but I can't see anyone else. And that's the same with Ilia. Even after him getting the win, you know what I mean? He's going to think he's got every chance, but I mean, I can see myself going out there and dominating that fight still. But I mean, he's going to be dangerous. I let him put hands on me, I could be going night, you know what I mean? That's just the game we play, especially with a guy that's as dangerous as him. But for him to think he's just untouchable and I'm not going to stand a chance, is like, mate, like, he must know, you don't catch me, you're in for a rough night. You don't catch Islam, you're in for a rough night. Yeah. And that's just that. Yeah. Like, I mean, a fight that comes to mind, I don't mean this any, like even, no, I shouldn't bring him up now. Bryce Mitchell. But I was going to say he was grappling and all that, and he ended up, you could see how strong, you could see how strong Ilia was early, but then you could still see him start to slow down with Bryce, and then Bryce even got him down. I'm like, oh man, I think he's going to slow down, and this isn't looking good. But then he ended up catching him, the dangerous hands he got, and then just whacked him. So it just shows you that even if he does find a bit of adversity, Ilia still will try and find that chin. But if he doesn't, what's going to happen in them later rounds? He hasn't been there. Oh, he has been there not that long ago, but not with the highest level. He's knocked the highest level out, and that's great, and that's very impressive. But we won't know till he goes and does, if he doesn't catch Islam, which is going to be hard. Islam doesn't put himself in many dangerous positions. You're going to have to scramble with this guy. How are you going to do that? Can you catch him? 100%. He can catch anyone. I could see him knocking out some welterweights, you know what I mean? I could see myself beating welterweights too, to be honest with you. Like, I've always seen myself, and I think he's that guy that could do that as well. I think he's still fairly strong. He could probably handle himself enough and maybe find the knockout. But, he's someone that I feel like can translate his weight, being a featherweight to some heavier divisions. So I give him that respect.